college guy at Parkland College. He's one of the top colleges, junior colleges in the country. He was an all-conference guy. And I told the girls last week, the Titans at Tennessee Tech, they went on their first series. It was supposed to be played at home, but it got moved because of weather. And they were down in Alabama, and he didn't make the bus. Not that he missed the bus. They didn't let him get on the bus because Division I allows only 27 players. 35 guys on a roster, 27 get on the bus. He didn't get on the bus. He went, texted me, goes, not traveling. How do I respond? Well, my two older kids, both Division I players, both catchers. My oldest one is Division I coach. My middle one just left the University of Maryland. He transferred just because of whatever's going on there. But he's transferred, but Power 5. So we've never had a discussion about the bus. I mean, they're all conference player or whatever it is. My oldest has every award in the world. My middle one hits it for forever. We've never talked about getting on the bus. We've talked about playing. New experience. I'm 56 years old. My youngest one is 21. New experience. They had to do all this stuff. What did I say? I said, well, I bet you better start working harder, be a great teammate, and change any habits you got going on. That's what I said to him. What do I say to these guys? Be a great teammate, work hard. If you're not playing well, work harder. Quit complaining, start working harder. So, here's a picture of him. This is his first at-bat today, official Division I at-bat today. That we weren't allowed to be at because Kent State won't let any participants in. There he is. How'd he do? He struck him. 2 outs, guy at third base, struck him. Hey, we got on the field, we got on the bus. We got to make little steps. What did we say? What's the thought process? Oh, the coach sucks. I'm going to call Mr. Coach. Mr. Coach, why is my son not playing? Is that what I said? That's what I did at Tennessee Tech? That's what I did? All those days, all that stuff, all that yelling, all that crap, that is all gone. Just want to let you all know. Playing the bats program, that's all gone. Did I yell at the coach? Okay, third child, Division I. Of course not. What do you tell your kids? Work harder, get your head down. Let's go to class and do your best. But I just tell them, do your best. Best attitude, best effort. Same thing. It's all about it. Whether they're playing softball, doing their math, or playing the violin, it doesn't really matter, does it? Best attitude, best effort. Same thing you say at home. Did he have success today? He made the bus. He struck out. He didn't get to start the second game. He played the first game because the guy twisted his ankle. I don't care. It happened, right? We don't care. But I just want to let you guys know, it happens to us. I'm living it. All the stuff that we screwed up on, we're just giving it to you. With 3 boys, right, Noel?
Yeah. I don't know if I screwed it up, but.
Well, I'll tell you guys, I always say thank you for being in the Bats family. Thank you for your support. Thank you for believing in the Bats. Thank you for being here, period. Thank you for being in the program. We're a little bit different program than other programs, thank goodness. I asked the girls today, and I asked all our players for their best. Basketball, softball, baseball, softball, whatever. Attitude, effort on my wrist, have fun. But we also need your best. If you don't have your best at the game, you are hurting us. If you can't do your best at the game with attitude and effort, go. What would we say to our players if they don't have their best attitude and effort? What do we tell them? Go. I told my kids in practice sport, I had a baseball team one time screwing around doing infield stuff and they weren't following me. I'm like, get out, go to the parking lot, get out, I don't want any parties, go away. We're not going to do that here. Where they give me their best attitude and effort? Of course not. That's not what we're living for. Don't want to go away. But we need the same from everybody. Coaches, players, parents, director, owner. I mean, we all go through that, but we need your best. It's about having fun. Program goals, and I know you guys have probably heard this, but you're going to hear it again. Our 4 or 5 program goals are how our kids act, parents act. Remember, you're responsible for your entire family. Grandmas, grandpas, nieces, nephews, whatever, you're responsible. Last year I threw out a grandpa. I suspended him for 4 weeks, kicked him off the team. He went to another team. I don't have that softball. Not pretty. Did it work out well? It worked out well. Why? Because the grandpa came to the dugout and screamed at our coaches about some ruling. We're up 12-0. if we were up 12-0, whatever. Why would he be yelling at our coaches about a rule? Why? What? It was 12-year-old baseball. Can you imagine Grandpa, he's suspending a grandpa for 4 weeks during COVID? You're gonna act like that, then you can't be there. Pretty simple deal. And then the coaches are hugely affected, the kid's hugely affected. I mean, it's just not good. Do we get it fixed up? We do, but it's about you're responsible for that. Now listen, we have to put on there about how your kids act, and we work on that in practice all the time. We have boards about that. It's, I want all our listeners on the boards up there, but it's about that. It's about how we act. If you're gonna stand there at the fence and yell at your kids, don't play. Don't come to games. Don't, because I'm gonna run you out of there. Plain and simple. If you want to sit there, enjoy your day, enjoy your kids' play, and enjoy meeting new people, awesome. But we don't have to scream at our kids or act appropriately. We all see it. We all see it. And we all go, oh my God, look at that behavior. Well, don't be that dude. Don't be that guy. Don't be that family. Because that's not how it is here at the Bats program. I'm not worried about rings and banners and all that other stuff. I'm worried about how our kids act, how our parents act. Skill development, which is our job to make sure they're getting the best instruction they can get. Developing relationships, and that's not just for our players, that's for y'all too, about meeting new people, and that's important. Especially since we've been, away from a lot of people so much now. I think it's a great thing. And then having fun. If we're not having fun, we shouldn't be doing it. Plain and simple. And I can talk about that for days. Anyways, process versus outcome. There's a coach over here at Iowa State that stole my information. Okay, 9 years ago when we started this stuff, I put process versus outcome. It's a coaching philosophy, is all it is. He does it a little bit better than most people, yes. We'll give him that. But that's what we're about. We're about the process. It talks about here. It's about our players, it's about our families. That's what our goals are. Players and families. We keep working, we stay positive, we don't let the score dictate how we act. There it is. There it is. How do your players act when they're losing? How they act when they're winning. So we're working on them to play the game. Play the game. I mean, how do you act when they're winning and losing? Just play the game. Positive, play the game. That's a big word that we'll keep using. We talk about why Bats, we think we're the best youth program in the country. And the reason why we think that is because we care about our families and our kids. Last year when I had to throw the grandpa out, suspended for 4 weeks, I'm torn up. I had to take a kid off this one team that's been on for a while because it just wasn't going to work out between that whole group, and I put him on another team, and it worked out, thank goodness. But that's what I was caring about. I didn't care whether they won or lost. I cared about that kid. It's not his fault his grandpa's acting like a jerk. We have to take care of him, and he's great. And we love him and that whole family, and they felt horrible, but that's how it works. We're always looking to improve, which we do. This is our job, and we're consistent because we follow the rules. Everybody says about following the rules, about making rules and following the rules. Well, we wrote the rules, so we're going to follow those rules. Players, Bats players, do's and don'ts. You've probably heard this before. People always say to do the right thing. Well, it's the same thing you say at home. We just define them. Our do's and don'ts, our do's, hustle, take care of your stuff. Take care of their stuff, right? They have to take care of it. Mom and dad ain't picking it up for them. Not coming to the dugout, pick it up for them. Not taking it through the parking lot for them. Not going to do it. You tell them to pick up their room, right? Take care of their stuff, do all that stuff. Same thing we do right here. They got to do it themselves. Great attitude, great effort, having fun. We talked about that. We will still. We're blue in the face. Saying thank you. We worked on that quite a bit. We communicate loud because, playing, you call them all that stuff, and they cheer, and I want them to be loud. When they're quiet, we got a problem. I love it when they're cheering and yelling all that stuff. Love it, love it. We teach them to look at coaches when the coaches are talking to them. Went to an Iowa State women's basketball game a couple weeks ago. Coach Finley, he's a Hall of Fame coach, and I'll tell you what, he stopped the girl right there coming off the field, and coming off the court, and she was like, boom, right on him. But here's a good one for you. I'm a varsity high school coach for 14 years. I'm on Coach Baffy's staff at Ames High. We had an 8th grade group come in, and we have them every year. I go meet and greet that 8th grade group, guys come down, say hello, I'm Coach Shahidi, blah, blah, blah. I come down, 3 guys in the back are not looking at me. What are their chances the next 5 years with me? What do you think they have? They got 0. They got zero chance because they didn't think I was important enough to pay attention to at that time. You talk about 5 seconds. I mean, you have a business deal and the guy's like looking over there. I mean, they're not paying attention to you, right? Well, they should know that by then. So we teach, look at your coaches. I had a kid walk away from me last year. I told him, turn back and look at me. I yelled at him to come back to me. And he was not great, but he looked at me. Then he came and apologized to me. We're still working because we're all, listen, as I said, 56. All the mistakes that we've made in our lives, here you go. This is what we, with our kids. So we work on that. Slapping hands, I have that up here. When we can do that. Scientist says that the most touchy-feely teams are the best teams and the closest teams. That's why we do it. I just don't pull it out of the air. Just science tells us that when we can go back and do it, we like to do it. And then positive talk. The players don't right here, and we talk about it all the time. Drop your head, that's pouting. Quiet playing, you must be paying attention to the score, right? Ask for food or drink. They cannot come to you and ask for food or drink. Stay out of the dugout. Stay away from the dugout. We want our players paying attention to their coach, their teammates, the game, what's happening. If they don't have, if Susie doesn't have a Gatorade, tough. So what? Should have had it beforehand. If they didn't have their shoes on, so what? Play in your flip-flops. Guess they're not playing. We can't keep doing and taking care of it because it only has to happen one time. But if you do come to the dugout and bring a Gatorade, you got to bring it for everybody. And if you get a concession stand, good luck. That's a little pricey. So get them. They have to be ready to go. They have to. And it's just independent stuff like you guys do at home. Like pick up your room. Same. You know, why is your backpack laying right here? Same thing at the dugout. We take care of it. Negative talk, again, in the don'ts and the negatives and all that stuff, stop it right away. And then gestures. I'm not a fan of gestures all the time, especially this one. If your players play basketball, you see this all the time when they get fouled, right? See it all the time. Well, I had an old coach tell me this was, my hands up was about me, my hands in was about my team. And that's how we believe it here, and I don't want to see this, and I don't want to see when they make mistakes like this. I don't want to see it. They meant to. Listen, I've never had a kid walk up to the plate and mean to strike out. Never had that happen. So all the gesture things need to go away, and you guys can help us with that. Expectations, this is a big one. Goals and expectations equal work ethic. If your goals and expectations are here, and you're pitching one day a week here, good luck. They have to match. They have to match. So if your expectations are here, you better be throwing 4 or 5 days a week and doing all that stuff to be here. They have to match. Oh, listen, my kid, that kid that you just saw on that picture I just showed you, he's 5'9", 100 and maybe 80 pounds. He has to work all the time. He can't just show up because his roommate's like 6'4", 225 lefty. I'm like, God-given ability right here. So they have to match on what your expectations are. Also, you guys have to understand what are your goals together. I mean, you have to talk to your player. Actually, have to talk to your player and see what those are. I mean, yes, we want their best out of it, something like that. But if you're, like I said, if you're playing catch 1 day a week, you're probably not going to have a lot of success. You're playing catch 5 days a week, no guarantee you're going to have success, but it gives you a better chance, right? Same thing, I always ask them about their math. They do their math 1 time a week, they're not very good. They do their math 5 times a week, pretty good. So it's pretty simple formula. It says, how are we successful? In the BATS program, baseball, softball, we're successful because we have great people and great families. That's how we're successful. We have great coaches, great families, we have great expectations on all that. That's how we're successful. We're consistent in our behavior with your rules, regulations, our policies. We have a 30-minute rule, by the way, if you haven't heard that before. You have 30 minutes after a game before you talk to the coach or your player. Unless your player brings it to you first, because sometimes you get a little emotional and stuff, and just take a breath and take your 30 minutes. Positive energy all the time. I talk about positivity and energy with all our kids all the time. This game is such a negative. Oh my, you know, guys in the major leagues going 3 for 10 and they're making $20 million a year, right? Well, your kid goes 3 for 10 on a weekend, they're going to put their dog in. You know, they're going to get into the car and, like, you know, not even talk to you. Hard game. Such a hard game. We got to stay positive. Like, hey, well, that's swing. All those type of things. Good verbiage. We have to all be on the same page. We have to. Meaning our talk, our positivity. If your player's not doing well, you gotta learn from it. You gotta get better. Like I said, ladies, if I meet the coach and say, Mr. Coach, you know why my kid not playing? Yeah, that's what I did. That worked out really well. No missed messages. And I put on here, move on next pitch. We're always moving on next pitch. Does the next pick happen? Next pitch. Next pitch. Move on. Move on. Process versus outcome, and be a great team. I'm sorry, be a good teammate. I should say be a great teammate. And if you're not doing well, you gotta be a great teammate. If you're doing well, you gotta be a great teammate. That's what everybody's looking for. Reaction, something I need to talk to you guys about. Support your player no matter what. I mean, they're gonna have good days, bad days, just like you do. Support your players. How do you react when your player reacts? You complain, they complain. You say negative things, they say negative things. You want to say positive things, they're gonna say positive things. Whatever it goes. Never that's okay. It's not okay. Striking out with bases loaded too, it's not okay. They know that. Making an error, they know it's not okay. We're not gonna lie to them because hey, next time, next pitch, come on, next pitch, we need the next. Because you know if you dwell on one, then the next one's coming at you. Now I've just made 2 errors. So that's how we work it. Next time, we're just not compounding a negative with a negative. You strike out, bases loaded, 2 outs, you're going to the field. We can't be popping about it because here comes the ball at you, now you're in there. Now you struck out and made it in. So it's just compound. So get them next time. Always do. What happens when you don't have success? How do you react? What do? My whole thing is that you gotta work harder. If you need help, we get lesson or instruction or whatever it is, or get extra time, or maybe you need to be playing catch or those things. But what do? You have to get in there or get them somewhere and stay positive with it. You can do it always. That thought process. I put on here the 13 Racing state champs. That's just a little story that this is a group of guys. It's a lower level team. It's an A-level team in baseball, and they were just having a hard time winning games. And they kept working. They had a great attitude. They kept working. And they were having fun at practice, and they were working hard. And they put it together. Last weekend of the year, they win it all. They're in Cedar Rapids and won it all, won state championship. It's like, wow, that was impressive. I didn't think they were going to get out of an inning, let alone win the state championship, right? They were positive more than I was. So it's teaching me a lesson. But we keep on working on that. The ride home's critical. Coach sucks, umpire sucks, your teammate sucks, everybody sucks. You need to zip it right away. I mean, you need to stop that player talking about it. What do you say? What message are you giving your player when you go, the umpire sucked? What message is that? That you were really good, but the umpire sucked? I don't think so. How about you get better? Stay positive with it. The umpire didn't suck. That's why we're losing umpires. I shouldn't need an umpire. If you threw it good enough, you shouldn't need an umpire. Hey, let's just put it bluntly, you know?
Fastball count,
but
okay?
we have to stop the negative. And we do the same thing. Now listen, 3 years ago or 4 years ago, we were in the state championship game with a team and the umpire did something. Okay? I still haven't gotten over it yet. But I can't say it.
Change it.
As I do, most of them, I don't like them. But we nothing you can do about it.
That's all right. We're gonna miss
But we do have some really good looking sets on it, don't get me wrong. We got a lot of good stuff. They didn't play well. Oh, sweetie, you didn't play well. Oh my gosh, that never happened in my house. That never happened. How about you work harder, and I don't want to hear about how you didn't play very well. How about work harder and stay positive? They're looking for some consolement. Too bad. You're not going to get it when you make an error out in softball or baseball. You're not going to get it. It's okay when you're playing high school ball or college ball. But we are playing 8, 10, 12 ball. Keep them working harder. Keep going. Kobe Bryant, you know, I always have guys that say, oh yeah, we're working hard. Kobe Bryant would have laughed in your face. Right? But our kids just need to keep going. They can't stop and be think that's okay with it. Okay, last part of it. Oh, at the end, we don't put out stats because no one asks about 10-year-old stats or 12-year-old stats. Oh, by the way, I had a Florida State University coach, softball coach standing over here. She didn't turn around and go, hey, do you got stats on this 12-year-old over here? Didn't say that. Oh, she won national championship too, but she's standing in here watching pitching. She wouldn't worry about stats. Western Kentucky coach standing over there, didn't ask me about stats. Lisa Hernandez, 3-time Olympic champion, was standing here. She didn't ask me about stats. She asked me about golf, but she didn't ask me about anybody's stats. So, I just think that's a bad deal. And I don't, in baseball, we don't do it. Softball, I'm not a fan of it. Some coaches use it, though, to help them, and that's okay. I just don't like it public. I'm not worried about it. And it's about slugging percentage anyways right now. It's not about